Hello, gorgeous, or shall I say gorgina. It's the Hampton Turn Up for EJNYC on AFTERBUZZ TV.
You're tuning into the destination for TV superfan discussion, AFTERBUZZ TV. And now, let the buzz begin.
Hey.
That's what EJ's asking Kyle right now.
Seriously.
Welcome to AFTERBUZZ TV. I'm your girl Kalima. You can find me on Twitter at Lima Wisdom ENT, and check out my beautiful co-host. Tell them where they can stalk you.
Hi, I'm Jennifer Leon, and you can find me at Jennifer Leon TV on Instagram and Twitter.
I'm Erica Shannon, and you can find me on Twitter at Miss Airy Baby.
Yes.
I love this song.
So it's the finale.
Yes.
Oh my goodness. Crazy season, and we finally kind of got to, I think they ended it. Let's say they did end it well. They wrapped every single storyline, kind of wrapped up. There was a little, I guess we can say there's a couple cliffhangers, but for the most part, we finally got to see at least where EJ's career seems to be going, because he did a Pop Sugar interview, and he seemed a little bit more prepared this time to me. He said, I want to do fashion. So we get that. We you know, we're getting somewhere.
We're going in the right direction.
Yeah,
I definitely think it went better than the Cosmo interview.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, he knew he could, not just walk in and go, I'm me, so
I want to do something.
And I love fashion.
Find
so,
me a place.
Figure it out.
Yeah, figure it out for me.
Yeah, and for me, I don't know about you guys, but it sounds to me, EJ, you're a fashion analyzer. To me, that's what it sounds like. He knows he knows about, material. He knows, he seems to be educated, but it seems like he would be best as a stylist, but he just, when I say analyzer, it sounds like he can literally break down an outfit as to why this is appropriate for this event or not. That seems like the direction he should go.
I was thinking when he said that about being a correspondent and being at the fashion weeks, in my head popped Andre Leon Talley. I was like, he could be our generation's Andre Leon Talley, because, and I looked it up, and Andre Leon Talley's been front row at red carpet. True. I mean, at fashion shows for the past 25 years, it said. I could see EJ doing that and being like the number 2 or the number 1 editor-in-chief at a magazine.
Of course.
Yeah.
And I do think, I don't think there's any way to comprehend the amount of experience that Andre Leon Talley has, and the studying that he's had to do. But I think if EJ really does take it serious, he could follow in his footsteps. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Did EJ go to school at all for anything?
For fashion, I don't think so.
No, just like even writing,
I
like
think
knowing how to
so.
write. Because I feel like if you're going to take a high up position like that, even let's say he's 30 or something, I feel like he needs to know a little bit about the industry and journalism.
Absolutely.
I mean, I went to journalism school, and I feel like it's pretty, necessary.
Yeah, it is. Especially if you want to put editor anywhere near your name, like you need to be able to write.
Right. I mean, right now he's doing journalism without, it's fine.
Without
but
the education. But,
right. But like to run all of that, I think that there takes a little bit more.
And I think if he's now the correspondent for Pop Sugar, we don't know where he's going to go from there, but just that experience with that magazine and that platform, I think he'll be able to pick up some steps from Pop Sugar. It's a huge, platform and business in general, so hopefully he picks up some.
I think he did go to school. Because I'm pretty sure that's how he and Kyle met.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
So yeah. Okay,
so he did
just
go to school.
a little bit, yeah. I don't know. I think maybe even hosting for him.
Ooh, that's what I said.
Like doing some fashion show hosting.
Like Fashion Police or something like that.
I mean, something along those lines.
Because he's so good with his words. Like, he's so good with coming up with catchphrases. Like, he needs to, copyright. Trademark, copyright, do all of that for everything, because he does it. It's just natural for him.
He's already a well-known name, so with people with big names like that, I feel like it just works.
You could always start on YouTube. I mean,
I don't think he needs to.
No, I mean, but he already has the following.
Yeah.
Where
oh my gosh,
right. And speaking of interviewing, did you guys think he actually for Pop Sugar in the episode he was interviewing the designer for ATM. Do you think that he was naturally a good interviewer, or what do you guys think?
I mean, he needs to interview more, obviously.
Yeah.
I mean, but that's for anyone. I don't think that it's something that you can do just whatever.
Right.
Yeah, it's
today.
I mean, yes, it is born type thing. It's just I think you need a little experience.
But you do need the experience.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah.
I think where he shined the most is when he went over to start talking about the clothes, because I think that's when he was in his element and everything just fell down, and he was able to be like, oh, I love this, you know, love a good, what did he say, jumpsuit?
And he was asking questions that were relevant, that were also interesting, things that I wouldn't think about, like, so where does this material come from? And then the designer for ATM, I don't remember Anthony. Yeah. He said that, you know, most of it comes from Peru. That's really great for someone who's following EJ within whatever video he was submitting. If they're following that, that's some information that they would want to know. I think that we wouldn't think of, you know, just because we love fashion. I don't know about y'all, but I don't really if I like it, I like it. You know, I don't think about where's this material come from. But for me, I love to like learn more about that, because it's just like when you eat something, you start to learn your own palate.
Well, and also with money, if you have the money to just go in and be like, no, I only wear you know, this and this and how many threads of this. I mean, obviously, I'm going into Forever 21 right now at this time of my life, and I can walk into Forever and be like, okay, this is cute.
Right.
I can't be like, oh no, I'd never wear that. It's not gonna be $10. Yeah, it's not gonna be $10.
It's Peruvian cotton. It's not French cotton or.
But also, my dad's not a basketball player.
Right.
So.
Right. Exactly.
I will say though that EJ did have an official interview on Pop Sugar. It's the only one there so far. But he interviewed Laquan.
No way.
Yeah. And so we'll talk about that a little bit later because it ties
awesome.
into the Hamptons. So
okay, cool.
Real quick about his fashion. I love that he was talking about getting an hourglass shape. I'm like, you're into the hourglass, okay? Like I love it.
Yeah.
Like with the Aliyah belt, I was like, yes, I love it. So I just wanted to make a little comment.
No,
I thought that was like smart of him. I like it.
It's true. And you guys can tell, like EJ obviously is really great at fashion, and any fashion advice, like even as a female, not being as tall as him, you know, it doesn't matter. Like I would take any advice from him when it comes to fashion.
Absolutely.
So I see what you're saying about him going more towards the styling side of it.
Yeah.
Because he can walk in your closet and be like, no, this needs to go, this needs to go. This is gorgeous.
And you have
styling.
to put that with this, like unexpected stuff. Yeah.
Like, you know, they had Queer Eye for the Straight Guy with like 5 different guys. It could just be him.
Hey.
They've tried those shows. I don't know how well they do though. Queer Eye was its own thing because it was like 5 different guys, and so you had
I didn't watch the show.
One was like hair, and one was clothes, and one was like personality, I think.
That's cool. I haven't watched it either, but it sounds interesting.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah, no, but another part on another note, Elisa was talking about how she finally opened up to us more about the reasons why she feels, you know, lonely all the time, why she can't really, you know, be alone, and she has to always have some sort of mate with her, even if he's just for fun. Like she's afraid that maybe he will leave, maybe he will cheat on her, and she reveals that it's due to her parents' separation, that the world didn't even know about until Cookie's deciding to expose it in her new book, Believing in Magic, actually, September 20th, she mentioned. But, I just was like, that makes so much sense. It's crazy how she was only a couple months when she got adopted, but somehow she still has that trauma subconsciously within her where she feels like anything that goes wrong as far as a separation, it's traumatic for her. Like she's afraid that somebody's gonna cheat on her or leave her, and it's like, I felt so bad because I'm like, it's okay, life always goes on. You guys have ever had a death in your family, you know, someone close to you passes away, and at the moment, yes, it's traumatic, it's sad, it's unfortunate, but you realize, even after a breakup, you realize after a couple months, wow, I didn't know how I was gonna get through that, but life really does go on, and I just felt so bad.
And it's interesting to know that there are two dynamics in response to that. It's either you do what Elisa does and is consistently in a relationship because she doesn't want to be alone, but then you have somebody on the other side who doesn't want to even put themselves through that, so they stay alone and not tie themselves up with the chance of being hurt or being cheated on or being left.
True.
So it's
like
interesting to see that dynamic.
Yeah, it's like be a player, like, you know,
played or not play the game at all.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Or live under a rock.
Right.
Yeah.
And then she also mentioned that she just doesn't want to depend on men.
I thought that this was the one moment, though, that she actually was thinking like a grown-up. Like, it is smart because a lot of times guys do hold you back because you want to make sure that that person's okay. I totally get it. So she wants to, you know, move forward. Everyone should move forward and not be tied down.
Yeah.
So
Are you talking about her conversation with Maya?
Yeah.
Okay, so my opinion of that is now that Elisa's deciding to be single, now she wants all her other friends to be single with her.
Of course.
You know?
But it was good what she said.
I understand what you're saying, and I agree, but I'm just thinking it would be just as important if she said it while she was in a relationship.
Right.
For her to say it now that she doesn't have anybody,
It's
now
easy.
she goes to Maya and be like, I don't know if you should let trash hold you back. And, you know, what's the motivation behind that? Are you being real or?
Yeah.
I don't know.
No, I was just gonna say that I don't like trash again. I'll go into that later.
No, but I was just mentioning, I was just thinking, you know, when she said, I don't want to depend on men, for me, it was like, wow, that's such a powerful statement because we live in a world where, you know, for the most part, it's unfortunately men run most things in America. And for her to feel like, okay, I try, you know, even though I want to be in a relationship, how did you guys react to that statement? Like, depending on men, and how would you say, I guess, balancing that, being able to, like, you know, be married to a man, be in a relationship with a man, but not necessarily be dependent on him, having your own independence, but, you know, I guess, I know it's one of those things where, like, a man, I think that they love to take the lead, and it's good to kind of, like, I don't know, maybe this is just me, but how do you guys feel about her feeling like she needs to not depend on a man? Like, how is she possibly going to be in a relationship if she always feels like he's going to leave her? I don't know.
I mean, I think it's going to be a lot of learning. She needs to actually go through it to have an opinion about it. Otherwise, you're just going to be scared. It's like anything else. It's like, no, I don't want to try that. I don't want to try that. And you try it. And then you find out that you have an opinion about it, whether you like it or not. It's, you know, it's one of those things where you just have to experience it, I think. And especially firsthand, because your relationship is so unique to everyone else's relationship. Literally. No one has the same one. I mean, there are same situations.
Characteristics, right.
Right, but, like, not every man wants to take the lead. A lot of guys want to sit back and let the woman take lead. I mean, some girls need that, some guys need that. It's everything is so different that you just have to experience.
But are you weak if you depend on a man?
No, I don't and
think
depend
so.
how so, too. I mean, I don't think that defines
like if he's
weakness.
a breadwinner. Exactly. I don't think so either. Just because he's the breadwinner doesn't mean I'm...
Well, here's the thing, too. It's opportunity. It's opportunity. If that person has a bigger opportunity than you, I know a lot of women that make more than their husbands. And vice versa. You know, a lot of guys make more than their wives. But it's... I think that if you love each other and you are a team, then your team, you know, it's a mutual thing. It's money. It's our money type thing. It's not like, oh, no, you make more than me, so I don't know. I don't think...
And I think that that's something that if you're in a relationship like that, it needs to be cleared up. Like, we're in a team. We can come up like Steve Harvey, act like a lady, think like a man. I'm just going to be honest. He even mentioned, he one of the things that he mentioned is that if you're going to be in a relationship where both of you make money, have a mutual account together, but you both, you know, have your own separate accounts, and it's like you still, so then that way you're constantly reminding yourself, like, okay, she is my equal, he is my equal.
Right, equals.
Exactly.
You shouldn't be in competition.
Yeah.
I mean,
I'm big on independence.
Me too.
And so for Elisa, I think it's good that she's 21. She's still young enough to go out and find completeness in herself. And we were talking about this a couple after shows ago, that she needs to bring to the relationship a complete Elisa. She doesn't need to have that hole that's still there.
She will be so happy if she does that.
Yeah, and it'll make for a more satisfying relationship if she does it, if she comes as a complete person.
And you have to be that. To get into a relationship, you have to be
because he'll run over you, and then of course you'll be upset when he leaves because you don't know. You don't have
that
the value
defines weakness.
Exactly. Yeah, no, exactly.
That's weakness.
Exactly.
I mean, there's...
Well, Elisa, I pray that you do. You know, she said that she's finally going to be by herself, and I think that... And she just needs to take some pointers from EJ, because EJ has no problem being by himself, and you can see that confidence that he loves himself. He walks in that confidence, you know?
Yeah.
And when she finds that full value for herself, then she'll be able to be in a relationship and be like, I don't need this. I'm going to go myself. Like, you don't even need to wait for him to leave you because you are so secure and fulfilled with your own worth. Okay, all right. Sorry, I know we're going to, like, Dr. Phil moments.
I just think that she was saying that it's good to be distracted. I think that should be her focus right now. Not to say don't go out, not to say don't have fun, but just make sure that you're doing things that interest you, that don't make you run to the phone every time it rings.
Right. I noticed she said that. I was happy to hear that too.
Yeah.
Being obsessed is not healthy in any way.
No.
Like, at any point. No. So you just need to move on.
Do you guys ever find yourself, like, starting to be obsessed and you're like, let me get out of here?
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously. I think that, but I mean, there's always the idea of something or someone. You always think that someone's going to be a person, or, you know, they catch you at certain times in your life or whatever, and it depends too. If you're a vulnerable person, then that could easily happen to you.
Absolutely.
And then you're like, oh my gosh, wait, why isn't this person, because there's so many people who play games that it's like it's, and there's two different people, and it's like, wait, what's going on? So I think that happens a lot to people, and you're gonna turn obsessed.
Absolutely. And she's in a very unique, obviously, situation where it could likely happen.
Right.
Okay. So, well, we're gonna move on to Kyle.
Yay.
Yes. Did you guys think that it was like, okay, so when you watch the scene when they're in the jewelry store and he's asking about using his house for a project that he's very proud of, did you guys see it as, did it look awkward to you, or did it look like, I'm just asking your friend to use your house? Your house is like how I would ask you to use your phone. It's nothing.
That's how I felt. I felt like it's like, what's the big deal? But I do understand that there's a line that shouldn't be crossed. Maybe they should have talked about time frames before if EJ was upset.
That's true.
Also, you know, EJ needs to realize if he said yes, then that means yes. Then his friend's going to be doing something. It's like you can't ask someone to do, or like, okay, hey, I'm going to sleep over at your house. You can't expect that person not to, you know, use your bathroom. Exactly. I just feel like it's like...
Well, I understand what you're saying, but I also understand how it could come off a bit like, wait a minute now. Because we're going there to celebrate my birthday. We're going there to have fun, all of us together, and now you want to bring somebody outside that wasn't invited to my birthday to work, essentially.
That's true.
And I do agree about
I didn't think about that.
The time frame aspect, saying, okay, it's only going to be a couple of hours. And,
or like a few shots. Like, how many scenes are you doing?
It seemed like it took a large part of the afternoon. But I want to say two things. One, if I never hear the word bomb again, I would be too happy, because they said it like 52 times while they were in that store. But then two, what I was going to mention before about EJ's interview, he interviewed Laquan at the photo shoot.
Oh.
So it kind of makes me think, okay,
are you
how much time was taken because you had enough time to do your interview?
Right.
So was the interview already
How long was the interview?
That?
It was like a minute.
Oh,
well what is on Pop Sugar is about a minute, 30 seconds.
Okay.
Yeah, so it was like, was EJ really upset? Were they really taking that long, or was it just edited that way?
Or for the show.
Yeah.
See, and what I was thinking was, I think that Kyle is very different when it comes to his, you know, what he's interested in and what he's focused on right now in his life versus EJ. EJ's trying to get to where Kyle is as far as professionalism goes and his career goes. So I think that a part of me felt like EJ didn't see how important it was. Like, listen, this is my project, this is my business, this is what I love, I'm a perfectionist. You know, and I feel like EJ's like what he normally is, like, I'm here to party. And I get it, and you're so right. Like, no matter what, it's different if they were just on vacation. It was like, hey, can I do this? But this was his birthday event. So, like, in that way, it's like, okay, I understand you're being professional. I think that EJ maybe did have a right to kind of be like, listen, we need to wrap this up because this is not about, like, this was not a part of the schedule for my birthday.
But wait, like, how many birthdays does he have? Because I feel like someone who has, like, 10 birthdays, they're like, oh, okay, well, for this one, like, can we just shoot this? Like, I feel like, you know? Like,
no, you're right. Yeah,
no, I think that was the one.
Oh,
like,
it was the one?
Supposed to be
Okay,
because
then
everybody was together.
He shouldn't have shot then.
No, I don't want to say that he shouldn't have.
Yeah.
I think it was fine because EJ gave him the okay. I think if EJ had a problem with it, he would have said, you know, I'm not really comfortable with it.
No,
I don't think it should happen.
To even ask for that. Okay, so, like, imagine your best friend's having a birthday. Like, do you want to work on it or do you want to be doing shots with them? You know,
me personally, because of the person I am, I wouldn't even ask. I wouldn't even do it.
You wouldn't even
I forget
asked.
these are.
If you knew that your best friend, it's nothing for them to have a mansion in the Hamptons. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, how I asked, can I use her phone? Like, it's nothing.
Then here's the thing. Why couldn't they do it at the end? Like, why couldn't everybody leave and then Laquan come in and use the house? Maybe they wanted to use it before it got messed up. Well, that's what she was saying. She was like, they should have put that out first. And Kyle,
talk about times.
As a professional, you would think that Kyle would know, like, just so you know. Oh, he mentioned, like, the call time, but just like most shoots, you guys I'm sure are familiar, like, we don't know all the time when it's gonna end, but we do know the call time. So I don't know, that would have been more responsible, so at least EJ knew what to expect. Yep. So so on to Sanaz. Despite the Hamptons, do you guys think it was a little too early, despite what happened in the Hamptons? Do you feel like it was too early to invite Sanaz, considering her past through the season?
No, because that's EJ's friend, right? And he wanted her there,
and it was good to forgive. Yeah, that's good. Okay,
but I'm glad that he sat her down. Well, at the dinner or wherever they were. I'm glad they had that talk about EJ saying,
like, let's clear this up before we go.
Keep your cool so it looks like everybody else is getting excited.
He's so mature. Yeah. Like, Elisa, like, she needs to just go ahead and listen to him. It's true. He made so much sense, because if you think about it, all the time when someone's, like, loud and stuff, if you stay calm, they look like they're crazy. Right. You know what I'm saying? And she should practice that instead of, I think clearly she's been babied a lot. Because she just, you know, I think what he was trying to nicely say is, don't be a child and, like, run off and cry and be gone and be, like, mad that everyone isn't agreeing with you on a subject. Like, this is, like, we're not children.
But he even said, he was like, I was upset that Sanaz left. And I thought, you didn't act very upset that she was leaving. Right. You were like, okay, bye.
Yeah.
See you later.
Yeah. He's a little spoiled. He was the same way with the Hamptons. He's like, listen, this is not a part of my birthday party. Like, this is what I want to do with my birthday party. This doesn't really fit right now. We're supposed to be doing the absolute of absolute of absolute. I love it. I'm sorry. I love the way Kyle says it.
That's fine. It's just bomb that's gotta go. Bomb needs to explode.
Yes.
Just be done with it.
I love it. I'm sorry. I love it. It, like, rings in my head, and I just love hearing say it.
Like, you look bomb. Like, that's
fine. Yeah. But literally, if you watch it, he says it like 4 times. I know. The clothes will be bomb. The house will be bomb.
Well, see,
I'll be bomb. You'll be bomb.
But you're probably right. And I feel like that's okay, we're gonna get to, like, the whole Drew thing where they think that he's just kind of, like, brown-nosing, but maybe in that scene he was a little bit by saying, like, oh, yes, that looks amazing, yes, like,
butter
as long
him
as
up.
I'm invited. Yeah. Okay, so on more about Sanaz, the talk with Maya finally, to me, Sanaz seemed more mature in this talk with Maya. What was your reaction to it? I mean, I knew for a fact that she did not want trash. Right, I didn't know where that came from, you know? But Maya just was, you know, she just, for some reason, believed it, but then it actually came out where, I guess, Trash at one point sounded like he was defending Sanaz. Yeah. And she was like, okay, now I think that maybe it was Trash coming on her. Because Sanaz was like, I shouldn't even have to defend this right now. Like, you have a grill that's gold, and it's not even real gold. Like, what? Yeah.
And that was one issue that I had with Maya when Sanaz was saying, and everybody laughed when they thought I was coming on to trash or whatever. And then Maya goes, what do you mean? Don't say it like that, coming on to trash. Girl, which one do you want? Do you want him to be after you? Do you want her to be after your man? Or do you not? Like, don't get mad when she thinks it's funny that she's going after him.
Yeah, that's her own insecurities.
Yeah.
That's her own insecurities. Yeah, so I was happy to see that, you know, at least that was squashed because Elisa stepped in and kind of talked to her and was like, okay, we can be friends, you know. And then Sanaz and Drew start to talk about Kyle, questioning if he's a real user.
Yeah.
Does Drew care way too much about EJ? Like, he's kind of like on a mission.
I'm going to stick with what I said last week. I think that... Okay, so I'm going to back off a little bit of what I said last week. Last week I was projecting that the way Drew is trying to make Kyle out to be is the way that Drew might be. I just think that Drew cares a little too much about Kyle, not so much about EJ. He's always worrying about what Kyle's doing. Mm-hmm. And I think that's where the issue is, because it's always...
Do you think he's maybe a little jealous because they're so similar? Like...
And they're really close.
Yeah.
They've known each other, I'm guessing they've known each other the same time as EJ and Alex have known each other. Mm-hmm. And...
I don't think Kyle's a user.
I don't either. I think Kyle has his own thing going on.
I'm telling you.
I'm like, he has Laquan,
it's great. Like
who's dressed Rihanna, who's dressed Beyonce. That's his ticket in.
Exactly, right.
EJ's just his friend.
Right. And I think he likes having him a part of his network because not even because he knows that he's on the come up, but just because they share the same values. That, you know what I'm saying? It's like, why wouldn't I have someone who has a lot of access to things that maybe with or without him he could build that access to or has that access to, but we share the same, you know, interests, so why in the world wouldn't we be friends? But I'm the same way. Like, he don't need him. What ticket is that? Like, he doesn't need him.
And think about it. Sanaz asked, what does Kyle do for EJ? For all we know, Kyle gets EJ into certain fashion events, red carpets,
exactly,
or something.
Just like he got the interview with him. I mean, you got them to meet.
So I think there's a mutual benefit happening between both EJ and Kyle.
True.
Yeah.
Yeah, like a real friendship. I feel like EJ's smart enough that he would know that Kyle was one of those people that was an opportunist or something like that.
Right.
I also think that when privilege comes to play, like when everyone's privileged and they've all gotten everything and they see other people getting everything, especially attention, they're like, wait, what? Mm-hmm. And they get super jealous and catty. So I think that's what's going on.
And Sanaa said it. She's like, I just don't know him. I don't know where he came from. That's it.
See?
That's it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But he was there first, which is what I don't understand. Like, why are you questioning him? And your friendship and his friendship are his friendship is much longer with EJ's than yours is. Mm-hmm. Why are you questioning him when dang it, I'm getting all these names mixed up.
There's so many names.
So many people.
When Kyle's been there since EJ was in college, so that's at least probably 4 years ago.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
Right.
I don't understand how that can get dropped in the conversation.
Right. Well, speaking of Drew, drinking, you know, he finally...
I'm proud of him.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, he's like, you know, he's got to learn how to have fun without being drunk and being under the influence. Can you have fun without drinking?
That video was a wake-up call.
Yeah.
Good. I'm glad.
If you started out learning that when I go out with my friends, I drink. So for him, his introductory into party life maybe was being drunk or maybe was drinking. Do you think... even we've seen, of course, there's people who go through rehab, whatever way they do it, they do have to find a way to reverse the way that they have fun. But is it possible that you really can just have a blast without alcohol?
Absolutely.
Yes,
Yeah.
Most definitely.
Like 100%.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And you remember everything the next day.
Which is a bonus.
No hangover. Like, yeah, of course. That's awesome. Yeah, I'm really happy, and I really hope he stays with it. You can tell by the way that, you know, when the guy, I forget the guy's name, but he was like, you just got to learn how to be an adult. He said that.
Oh, Alex?
Yeah, okay,
I just
Alex.
keep thinking of the starfish. It made me think of Patrick from SpongeBob. He had just them all over his shirt. I was like, that's so distracting.
Oh my God.
Take that off.
Yes. But yeah, so when he said that, in Drew's face, he just seemed like, like he's nodding his head, but he's not fully sure if he's going to be able to do it. And I don't think he's an alcoholic, but that is the same sort of, I think, like reaction that they usually have. They don't know if they'll be able to do it. It's just one of those things where it's like day by day, but I know what the goal is, you know? And I don't think he's an alcoholic or anything, but I know for him it's all about his health, and I just really, really hope that he's able to stick with it. And if there's a second season, we should be able to find out.
Yeah.
Yes.
But I don't understand. We'll talk about that a little bit later.
No.
But I'm just confused how that would work. Like, we would probably end up leaving Drew behind because he would be back in LA.
Oh,
and if
true.
EJ's staying in New York,
there's unless it's EJ LA. Because things didn't work out.
No.
Right, okay, yeah, that's true. Or rich kids, yeah. Okay, so then it looks like in the end, when it comes to Kyle, swinging back to Kyle, Drew and Sanaz sort of succeeded in getting EJ to question Kyle's motives. So do you...
Well, I think he's just being smart. I think that EJ's like, okay, if my friends that I trust think that there's something going on...
if Kyle's his friend...
Yeah, but... I mean, if anyone said to me that someone's lying, everyone's capable of lying.
Exactly.
You could just say, okay, well, then I'll make sure to keep an eye out and not have tunnel vision, you know?
Right.
Not everyone is perfect.
Right.
Yeah, again, he's being mature about it.
Yeah,
he's
I think
just, like Jennifer's saying, he's just keeping an eye out and making sure that he's aware of anything that might be happening.
I agree. Can Kyle be forgiven if, like, remember in the scene when they were finally confronting him, and he was like, Kyle was like, kind of, keep my name out of your mouth, you know? Like, what if he would have came back in a calm, sensitive way, like, honestly, I appreciate the fact that you guys love your friend so much. I want you guys to know, like, I definitely don't have any motives. I really do love him. Like, what if he came in a way that was calm and sensitive and apologetic? Do you think that they would have forgiven him? Do you think it was maybe the reaction that he had that it was like, well, that's why I really don't like you?
No.
I just think that's Kyle.
Yeah.
And Kyle, and as he said at that dinner, he was like, I'm not really going to change for anybody. This is who I am. Mm-hmm. I bring who I am to the table every single day. Mm-hmm. Every single time you meet me, I'm the same Kyle. Mm-hmm. I don't think it would have been believable if he did what you were saying.
Mm-hmm. Right. Yeah. I mean, I think they all kind of have that mentality where they're not going to back down, really, if someone comes at them. Like, they'll definitely, they have too much pride.
That's what I was gonna say. Yeah.
So I mean, even talking calmly to them, I don't feel like is an option.
Really.
You know, I just that's why they have a show.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I do think there's a time and a place for it, but I think it's also dependent on the person. Like, if Elisa was going and apologizing, she would be more of the calm. If EJ was going and apologizing, he would be more of the calm. He wouldn't be as, I don't want to say aggressive, but he wouldn't be as
firm,
snappy.
Yeah, like just straight to the point. This is what it is. The way that Kyle is. I think it's dependent on the person.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah, and it's true. Kyle doesn't really seem like to. He's very confident about who he is, and it's like, why be apologetic about something that you guys are misunderstanding and like. You guys don't really know me. You're not giving me a chance. You're just making accusations. But I don't know. I just felt like it would have been. I think that if he would have, I think to me, it seems like that kind of fueled their fire. Seeing him being so like rude and like keep my name out of your mouth. Like they're like, see. That's what I was already expecting from you. Like, if he would have given them some sort of maybe different expectation, they would have been more sensitive. And it's crazy because y'all been on, they say you don't know anyone until you travel with them. They've been on, almost three vacations now.
Yeah.
So it's like, and how do you not see
my question is, tying this back to Rich Kids for a second, Kyle and Drew have hung out with EJ, just the three of them, here in LA. So was Drew feeling this the whole time, and he just decided to now start bringing it up? Because when he was on Rich Kids, he was, chattering whatever with Kyle, and everything seemed fine. Yeah. But now all of a sudden he has these issues.
And like you said, it could be the show. It could just be like, listen, we need
some drama.
Right.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Someone stir it.
If you have a little issue, just make it a little bigger.
Right.
So finally, Magic makes his cameo on the finale. And I mean, you guys can definitely tell me what your reactions were to finally seeing him with the entire family together. But one of the things that Cookie said, EJ's mother, was big happy family. Like, yes, there's going to be some, you know, she was talking about her book and she was saying, yes, there's going to be some more serious subjects that I'm going to cover, but overall we're a big happy family. And it made me think, like, is it possible that there's some family secrets that we don't know of just by judging by the faces in that scene? Because, you know, even though they were saying, oh, we supported EJ from the beginning, like, I don't know. I'm just like, nobody's a big happy family. Like, there's always going to be something. I don't know.
Also, no one's questioning that they didn't always love EJ. Like,
yeah.
I mean, is that right? I mean, has there been a...
No, I think it's more so for everybody outside of the family, like us, the viewers, to say, you know, in other stories we hear about gay and lesbian or bi kids, it's always like, oh, well, my parents didn't really accept me, or they didn't accept me until, and so I think they were just stating that to say, we've accepted EJ his entire life. Yeah.
Because she said she didn't reveal the fact that they even got separated. So this is going to be her kind of telling that information. And so I was like, okay, there's got to be, you know, I don't know, by looking at EJ's face, even though he nodded his head, I wasn't fully buying the fact that they were, I mean, it'd be different if your dad wasn't the most male of a male of a male. Like, he, you know, he's literally known for being masculine, strong, athletic, and you have a gay son. So there's got to be some struggle there.
Probably.
Well, then we find out that he has a half brother, or they have a half brother in Andre.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, the guy that was sitting there with, I think his wife's name is Lisa.
Oh.
The two people on the end. At first, I thought they had some connection to the book.
So I wonder if that was while they were separated.
No, because he seems older than, I think he's older than EJ.
Oh, okay.
And I think he's Magic's son. So I think he.
Oh, maybe before that marriage.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, so it was funny because they were like, you know, we do have a happy family, we do love our family, but we don't really hug. We do mental hugs.
I like that, though.
Yeah,
that was really cute.
It was funny. So I was like, do you guys do, because my family, we hug, but we don't really hug.
Yeah.
We do mental hugs. I say I love you, and it's like, I loved it.
No, my family hugs, but I definitely, even
like, we
when
hug, but like
Elisa and EJ did it, I still felt like the connection
That was
there.
a hug.
Yeah.
That really was.
That's why I was like, I'm so happy that they came up with a name for it, because I always thought about that. Like, I love my family to death. I consider my family very close, but we don't really hug. But we love each other to death. Right. So I was like, great, it's a mental hug.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, like, I'm a hugger, just like personally. Like, so I don't care if like my family's not a hugger. Like, I'll hug them. So like, I don't know. That's just how I am.
Just walk up and be like, no, you're getting this hug.
No, like my little brother, absolutely. Like anyone in my family, yeah.
That's so good. I think it's so good, and it's almost like really weird. I hope some people can comment and let us know, like, what is it? Like, you know, it makes me feel weird almost sometimes.
No.
Like,
I think it's just a personal thing. Like, it's fine. Like, there's nothing wrong with you. I think it's okay.
Yeah.
You're good, girl.
Some are just more touchy-feely than others.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
It's sad that it feels weird because you love them to death. I love my mom and dad to death, and don't get me wrong, every time I like hug my mom, especially, I love even the scent of her. Like, I love it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, why don't I do this more often? But at the same time, like, you know, but I don't. It's not like a normal thing where it's like, good morning or goodbye, I'm off to work, or good night. Like, no.
Oh, well, that, I mean, not just regulars, like, this means nothing. I mean, I live here, my family lives in Chicago, so I guess that's what I'm thinking of. Like,
so when you see them, it's been a long time. But
I guess you're right.
Okay.
I mean, I don't know. That's kind of how I was thinking. I mean, I wouldn't hug someone that often. Like that, you know? Like,
that you see every morning.
So it's not weird.
Like,
okay, cool. So it's not weird then.
No,
that's good.
no, you're
that's
fine.
good to know. Because I was like, I really do mental hugs more too. But I really do love my family. Like,
but they were like, when they were doing their mental hugs, I feel like it was total. It was like,
you could see it. Like, I got you.
No, they did it. Like, yes, that's exactly what it was. I got you. You look bomb.
Yes.
That's what it was. Bomb, girl. You look bomb. That's what it is.
So what about any other reactions for you guys?
I just thought that the whole cookie book announcement was like, okay, my son and my daughter have a TV show. Let me just throw my book in there.
All
yeah,
day. It was a
free
plug
press.
all day. Like, we got the date for the movie, the name of the movie, what the
book.
That's okay.
Well, we need to know what we're selling.
Yeah.
So it's a book. They got half the point across. We got the date.
Yeah.
You know what it's about.
Literally. Oh, they've got to be. They've got to be executive producers somewhere in this. No.
No,
I don't think so.
Are they not producing at all?
I think EJ's a producer.
EJ, yeah.
That's what I was gonna say. Somebody's got some money in it because they're like, well, we're gonna need to plug this at least at the end.
But I wonder how that conversation happened, though. I wonder did Cookie sit EJ down and be like, look, I have a book coming out and I want to talk about it, so let's put it on the show. Like, how does that conversation even happen?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't even think...
It was also staged the way they were all sitting, like, it was definitely,
And the way that Magic was kind of talking about EJ as if he wasn't sitting there.
Right.
But I'm guessing maybe they were answering producer questions, like maybe, or
That's
it was
probably
some sort of press opportunity
some
that they were
notes
having.
that they need to hit.
Someone wrote a speech.
Right.
Yeah.
What else? Anything else?
I mean, it was a cute show.
Yeah.
I like it.
It was cute.
Yeah, it was cute.
It was cute.
Yes.
Would you like to speak?
No. What I will say is, if it does come back for another season, I'm going to be very excited to follow EJ doing his Pop Sugar correspondence and everything like that.
Day.
Like I said in the very beginning, there were too many people because we didn't hardly hear from Samaria. We didn't really hear from Rachel. Jane popped in 1 or 2 times. There were just so many friends that it was like, but we only focused on 2 or 3 of them.
Right.
So I really would like to see EJ more and following in his path and seeing Elisa finish school and seeing what she's gonna do and
seeing independence.
and how they're adapting, one, to being together in New York, and then just seeing EJ continue to move forward in his career.
Yeah, I agree. I don't know if it was just that it was like, let's do this really quick, and it was like really quickly put together. I don't know what it was, but yeah, I felt like the storylines, some were clear and some were just like, you're coming in, you're coming out, like, all right, we got it. Like, even with Maya and Trash, it's like, okay, I don't know, maybe it's just me.
See, like LL Cool J's daughter. What was her?
Samaria.
I like her. Yeah,
I really liked her.
I want to see more about her.
I really like. I mean, can she be on Rich Kids? Like some. I mean, I want her to be on more. I feel like,
especially with I mean, hopefully if they can get more of her family too, and even if her dad's not in a lot of scenes or anything, but just to understand the similarities of that lifestyle of kind of being a rich kid, being
right.
You know what I mean?
And we know her parents.
Right.
Like, I
exactly.
feel like I don't know the other ones.
No.
So that would be interesting. Yeah, I like it.
Some predictions for the
see.
next season, if there is a next season. But thank you guys so much for watching us. I hate to say goodbye, but this is the end. So definitely make sure you follow me. My name's Kalima. Follow me on Twitter at Lima Wisdom ENT, and follow my girls.
I'm Jennifer Leone, and you can find me on Instagram and Twitter at Jennifer Leone TV.
I'm Erica Shannon, and you can find me on Twitter at Miss Airy Baby.
Miss Airy Baby.
Bye, everybody.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the host only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.